Today is May the 12th, Mother's Day. So we have some things we're going to talk about, specifically mothers. So we're going to talk about a few specific things, like what are moms, why do we celebrate Mother's Day to begin with, like what's the history behind that, and then we'll also talk about like archetype of mothering. Like what is it to mother yourself? In what ways can you learn skills from the experience of mothering to improve your own quality of life? So that'll be that third point. So I just want to say good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Church. It's a pleasure to see all of your faces again. We're going to go ahead and move into the Chalice Lighting ceremony. Nicole, would you mind doing the honors of lighting the chalice?
I think I'm like in between chewing my cracker and drinking my tea.
You got it, girl.
You got that. Refresher.
Take the matchstick, you light it, put that up, and turn that off. Thank you. From its humble beginnings, Mother's Day has grown into a global celebration of the many forms of motherhood: biological, adoptive, foster, spiritual, and countless other ways we nurture and care for one another. While our traditions may differ, the core sentiment of Mother's Day is universal. It's gratitude for the unwavering love, the tireless dedication, and the profound influence of mothers in our lives. Today, as we gather in the spirit of appreciation, we'll explore the many facets of motherhood, the power of a mother's love, and how we can nurture ourselves and others with the same compassion and care. So Mother's Day is not new. It's not an American thing. It's not something that came around with the English language. It's a very old tradition. And it started, no one knows how long ago, because we've had moms for a long time. But we have some ancient origins that people allude to. So early celebrations of motherhood can be tracked back to ancient civilizations such as the Greeks, the Romans, who held festivals honoring mother goddesses like Rhea and Sybil. Thank you. I don't know Sybil that well. And then there's medieval England. On Mothering Sunday, it was a celebration on the fourth Sunday of Lent. And on Mothering Sunday, you go from your church back to your family church. So back in this day, it wasn't like you came to one church and it was a cultural thing. Back then, it was more of a tribal nature. And when you get married or move to a new location, it was almost like entering into a new family. So Mothering Day was going back to your roots and going back to see your family and your mother church. Anne Jarvis's campaign. Anne Jarvis, inspired by her own mother's work to improve sanitation and health conditions, campaigned for a National Mother's Day to honor mothers' contributions to society. This was one of the first, her and Julie Ward in 1870, who was trying to stop war and have a more social active government, calling for all mothers to unite for peace and disarmament. Those type of people are the reason that we have a Mother's Day, and the reason that we have a day specifically dedicated to enhancing our perspective on mothers. It grows that skill, it grows our gratitude for the people who are in that role, and it helps our society in whole, because when you observe something and when you focus on something, it grows. Official recognition. In 1914, President Woodrow Wilson officially established Mother's Day as a national holiday in the United States to celebrate the second Sunday of May, 1914. If you ever get into a trivia night, locked in tight. Okay. Commercialization and evolution. So Mother's Day hasn't always been about genuine human connection. Over time, Mother's Day has become increasingly commercialized, with business capitalization on the holiday to promote gifts and cards. This isn't always a negative thing. It allows for that sentiment to be spread and for people to be more intentional, because there's a way to show here without words, but with actions and gifts through different love languages, how much you care and respect that compassion that was given to you from your mother. Global recognition. Today, Mother's Day is celebrated in various forms around the world with different dates and traditions depending on the country. This is not an American holiday. It's a human holiday. We are all on the same team. And we all have moms that need love and respect. So, with that being said, that's my introduction. Just a quick prelude into the message today. A little bit of history on mothers, give you that background and that context to sharpen your perspective. Next, we're going to be moving into the candle lighting ceremony. Actually, moment of centering silence. We're going to take that in, we're going to relax, we're going to regroup, and we're going to center real quick. I'm going to use the singing bowl. We're going to have silence before and silence after. Just in our own lives. As mothers come into our life and then leave to go into someone else's, or as you as a mother go into someone else's life, there is that silent pause, there's the activity, and then there's that silent pause. Allow that space so that that sound can resonate. We're going to move into one of my favorite songs. So, most of y'all know I'm turning 40 in September, and I'm trying to find someone to play this song on the organ here in church for my birthday. So, we'll see how it goes. This is Shinedown's version of Simple Man by Leonard Skinner.
My
And when I listen to it, I think of an unbroken, completely whole mirror. It gives a clear reflection. And when I think of what not being simple is, that complicated life, that fractured life, that broken life, where you have a mirror that's been shattered, light spread everywhere, and you have no idea what image you're supposed to be seeing. You're just confused. So when I hear the Simple Man song, it's a message from the mother to the son, to remain in your wholeness, to become unbroken. Matt, do you mind passing the offering plate? The fofo, the Friends of Frisbee organ, is right in the back, along with the building donation. And if you missed the offering tray, not a big deal, you can donate online. There's a PayPal button on the church website. Thank you, sir.
He's talking about it as well.
and the singer. Thank you, God, for you. Now for the exciting part, the message. All right. Mother's Day. Compassion's unbreakable bond. So the three things I really wanted to dig into: what are mothers? Why do we love them? And how do we learn from that and apply that to ourselves? So first I'd like to talk about the animal kingdom. We as human beings are not the only mothers. You can learn a lot from all mothers. Mothers in the animal kingdom are fierce protectors. One of my favorite book authors is Terry Pratchett, Sir Terry Pratchett from England, and he wrote a scene that I very much enjoyed. It was about this guy who came into town and had these big angry dogs, and they were messing with the town and stuff, and one of the dogs broke into where the little lambs were, and there was a mother that had just had a baby a week ago, and someone was shouting and running because they were scared for the lambs and stuff. And the old shepherd, she was an old lady who would treat all sheep injuries with turpentine. That was what she did. She was like, oh, we need to tough it up a little. Here's some turpentine. Anyways, so the story went as follows. Dog goes into, hungry dog, big angry hungry dog, goes into the little shed. The lady shuts the door and smirks at the dog's owner. 3 minutes later, the dog comes out with 2 broken legs. So the whole point of the story is, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, if you are channeling that mother energy, you're going to protect your own. And that is from the animal kingdom. That's ingrained into our primal nature of every mom. Don't mess with moms. Period. Let them be. Don't anger a mother by poking at the children. Don't do it. It's disastrous. So in the animal kingdom, mothers exhibit a powerful drive to protect their offspring from harm. This is often seen in physical confrontations with predators, where mothers will risk their own lives to ensure the safety of the young. Mother bears are known for defending their cubs from hungry wolves. Mother bird may dive bomb a cat that ventures too close to her nest. Last week, it was Thursday, Jess and Teddy was on a walk, and they were around the block, and I was outside. I just stepped outside because I heard 5 crows going crazy right in front of my yard. And I was like, you know, every once in a while I'll toss the butt end of loaf of bread to the crows. I'm like, hey, you guys, I like you. Anyways, here they all are having a party like 10 feet from my front door, and I walk outside, and I'm waving at them, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? And right below them, the reason they were loud was a fox. It was like this big red fox, biggest fox I've seen in Maine. And it was rolling around in something dead, and the neighbor had cat food out to feed the strays, and it was eating that. And so here my wife and child are walking around the neighborhood, and the crows wanted me to know that there was a dangerous animal. So I just stood in the road with my axe, and then the fox went away, and I never had to kill it. But I was very grateful to the birds for that. I don't know why I need to bring that up. I don't know if any of those birds were moms, but I felt protected as a child. Another example is octopuses. They're very squishy. They're not real aggressive and violent. So when they protect their own, oftentimes they end up sacrificing their own life to lead predators away from their eggs. Unwavering love and devotion. Animal mothers display so much love to their offspring, often going to extraordinary lengths to care for and nurture them. This involves a tireless foraging for food, meticulous grooming, and constant vigilance for threats. A mother elephant nurturing her calf for years, teaching it essential survival skills and providing emotional support is an example. Mothering is not just about ensuring the survivability of your species. It's not. When an elephant mothers its young, it teaches. It's not about survival, it's about improving on survival. That is the foundation that you build everything else up on. And you see that in nature. A mother kangaroo carrying her jelly in her pouch, providing warmth, protection, and nourishment. A mother cheetah tirelessly hunting to feed her cubs, ensuring their growth and development. Every species has its own unique touch on mothering. The teaching aspect. Mothers teach the survival skills and the thriving in their environment. A mother lion teaching her cubs to hunt and stalk prey. A mother meerkat showing her cubs how to dig for insects and scorpions. Mother chimpanzee demonstrating how to use tools for cracking nuts and extracting food. And then there's the bonding attachment. The bond between an animal mother and her offspring is powerful and enduring. It's essential for the young's development and well-being. This connection is formed through physical touch, vocalization, and sharing experiences. A mother dolphin communicating with her calf through clicks and whistles. A mother monkey grooming her babies, strengthening their social bond. A mother wolf playing with her cubs, fostering social skills and physical conditioning and coordination. So all of these things are natural, and we don't really pay attention to a whole lot, but how much of that would happen without mothering, the aspect, the skill of mothering. So we have different kinds of mothering. There's not just a basic, all moms are like this. There's the nurturer, the protector, the teacher, the guide, the friend. And a lot of times you have to roll in between each phase, as whatever your environment and your child dictates pulls that out of you. So the nurturer, mothers provide more than just nourishment. They create a loving and supportive environment. So a few weeks ago, I was complaining. Actually, I've talked a lot about ownership, and one of the big things was choosing to change myself instead of complaining about not being able to change my environment. But mothers do that. They look at their kid, they know that the kid has trouble changing the self and can't change the environment. The mother changes the environment. The mother does everything she can to help foster that growth and development. That's nurturing. And then there's protecting. That's another thing. Environment and child. Create that space and that boundary and that safety so that kid has structure to grow up in. It's like tomato vines need a lattice. And kids need moms. Teaching. Mothers are the first and most influential educators of a child's life. I just got a degree in English with a focus on fiction, and I want to write books. And all of my kids get read to by their moms about 10 times more than me. Those books that the kids want to read over and over and over again, I'm like, I know that plot. Why do you want to read that book? But mom is like, yes, enthusiastically endorsing reading, even if it's the same one over and over and over again. Even if the page only has a few words on it, and it's not very gripping for adults. The mother sacrifices and reads and reads and reads to teach and pass on and give. That's what a mother does. The guide. There are things that your children aren't going to learn. You can't teach them everything. Sometimes they don't want to learn. But guess what? Mom's still there. Like, even if you don't learn, I'm going to guide you in the right direction. That guidance is creating that wisdom and support for the child's navigation through life. Helping them make important decisions, overcome obstacles, and find their own path. So, I have this bell up here. One of the things moms have been known for doing is ringing that dinner bell. So, as a child, I distinctly look back and remember my mom telling me what to eat, how much to eat, when to eat. And it wasn't always my choice. Because did I know better than my own mother? My mom knew for a fact that that was not the case. I was not wiser than my mom, especially when it came to diet. So, in the same way, that guidance, that teaching, that nurturing, that protecting, and that friend, when it comes to food, think of our experiences as our soul food. When we go through our experiences and extract life from it, and feel the joy and the passion to live and to run through our opportunities and to wake up in the morning with excitement instead of grogginess or fear or anticipation. Being able to do that is a skill developed by mothers. You have your experience, you need to pull all of the nutrition away from it. But what do we want out of that experience? We want to feed our ego, we want to feel good, and then we want to stop there. We don't want to move into the discomfort phase that our moms are great for pushing us into. Learn and grow, learn and grow, learn and grow. So, beyond the natural social adaptive, there are biological mothers. You have your mother that gave birth to you. And oh, what a big karma. I have 5 kids. I've seen it. I have not had to give birth to any of them. A mother sacrifices her body to a certain extent. It's a spectrum, and it's a different spectrum for each mother. But you give up time, space, athleticism, health. For some moms, it's a very, very big health concern to have babies. That's a biological sacrifice that mothers have for your biological mother. It's important to remember that as an archetypal mother sacrifice. Adoptive mothers choose to open their hearts and homes to children who need love and care, forming profound bonds that transcend biology. There are some women in here that I have called and came straight over to their house for nurturing. I was like, I need mom, I love you. Become a part of my life. And that happened here in this church, and it was amazing and wonderful. Adoptive mothers can help give you that guidance that you need. And it's not just a taking, it is a teach learning, a learn teaching. As you invite that energy or that person into your life, they grow as well. It's a mutually beneficial arrangement. Foster mothers. Foster mothers provide a temporary safe haven for children facing difficult circumstances, offering stable, nurturing, and a chance to heal. Foster moms, they don't get the attention like other moms. They're not observed with the same amount of respect as some other careers, but my dad was adopted. I know that foster moms are one of the big reasons why people can change. You can move past your heredity You can grow into whatever potential you can believe in, and that belief is given to you by that nurturing mother. The mom says, believe in yourself, and gives that to you. You experience self-belief, and then your self-esteem raises, your comprehension raises, and your overall ability to affect life raises after that seed has been planted by the mother. Other mother figures, spiritual mothers guide, nurture, and often on their own spiritual journeys offer wisdom, support, and unconditional love. If anyone in here has ever felt that divine, unconditional love, and then can remember it to bring it back to them, that is a beautiful experience and exceptionally spiritual. Just having the perspective of divine love is a gift. So we talked a little bit about mothers. Am I doing good on time? Okay. So we talked a little bit about moms in nature. We're going to look at mom's impact in a little other history. Data about mothers. A little different, slightly different perspective. The motherhood penalty. Studies show that mothers often face a wage gap compared to women without children, even when controlling factors like education and experience are the exact same. This penalty is often attributed to workforce, reduced work hours, and discrimination. So mothers get paid less than not moms on an average basis, period. Mental load. Mothers often carry a disproportionate mental load of household and child care responsibilities. Even in households where both parents work, this can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and burnout. As a father, I was going to joke on Mother's Day to a certain degree. Those of you who know me know I'm a very playful person and I'm a stay-at-home dad, so I could do a lot of parody on Mother's Day. But the truth is I'm not a mother. I'm a stay-at-home father. And it is much easier for me to create that space between me and my child than it is for my wife. There's that natural, empathetic bond where if Teddy is stressed out, Teddy is tired, or Teddy is hungry, Jess will feel that unrestrained, where I can just put a little lever on it and dim it down. That mothering is a very intense aspect of life, and I'm not jealous for it whatsoever. I like being a dad. I'm very grateful for all moms. Maternal mortality. Tragically, the United States has a high rate of maternal mortality compared to other developed countries with significant racial disparities. Black mothers are 3 to 4 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications than white mothers. Economic impact. Mothers' unpaid labor at home, including childcare, cooking, cleaning, is estimated to contribute significantly to the economy. This work is often undervalued and overlooked. So now we're moving in, as a society, into a specialized kind of economy, where you can do one thing really well and then pay for everything else. You can pay to have your house cleaned. You can pay to have food delivered to your door. You can pay for, believe it or not, you can pay for people to come over and sit on the couch with you while you watch TV. You can literally pay to have anything done for you. It is one of those environments. But the mother does it all. The mother does it all out of the kindness of her heart. I think that's a big deal. Mothers in the field of psychology. Attachment theory. John Bowlby's attachment theory emphasizes the importance of early bond between mother and child for healthy emotional development. Secure attachment to a caregiver is considered crucial for building trust, resilience, and the ability to form healthy relationships later in life. So there are different kinds of health. There's physical health, and we're learning very clearly there's emotional health, there's psychological health, there's spiritual health. And what these studies are showing in different ways is that all of those, every single one of those factors that add to the quality of your life are positively impacted by a mother. All of it, positive. You have a mom in your life, you're going to score better on your SATs. You have a mom in your life, you're going to have better hygiene. You have a mom in your life, you're going to have better sleep. It all goes into just having that nurturing environment that allows for more growth. It's the difference between being planted in gravel and in soil. Maternal sensitivity. Psychological research highlights the significance of maternal sensitivity, a mother's ability to accurately perceive and respond to her child's needs. And this is something that revolves a lot around the personal identity, behavior, how we treat each other, how we see ourselves. When you are willing to be sensitive towards someone, you move yourself out of the way, your own needs, your own identity, and you have complete deference. A mother has deference for her child. They make themselves not the subject. It's not about the mom, it's about the baby. And that sensitivity, that psychological, accurately perceived childhood state happens on the mother's side much more than the father's side. Commonalities in mothers outside of the human experience. We have the fierce protection, we have the nurturing behaviors, we have the teaching and socializing, we have emotional bonds. So what we have here is a whole lot of forward progress surrounded by the term mother. So how can we use this in our life? I like Brene Brown a lot. She talks about vulnerability, being capable of being vulnerable to others. And she's done a massive amount of research on happiness. Why are some people happy while others are not? And the number one foundation is you just have to believe you're worthy to be happy. That's it. All the other conditions are just perspective. You literally can only just believe you're worthy enough to be happy. And one of those states, once you own your own self-growth, having skills like me having so many amazing moms in and around my life gives me that skill set. I can be more disciplined. I can hold myself more accountable. I can become more passionate. I can become more energetic. And so for this final phase of my chat, which I still have a few more minutes, we're going to bring this up for open discussion here in a bit after I explain how this works for me. So I like to take a skill and I like to point it at myself. How can I influence positively my own personal growth using my own concept of an archetypal mother? And this is what hit me. When I see Teddy playing, when he's playing and learning and having fun and growing, and it is all good. There is no bad. There's no cause and effect. You need the dark to get the light. You need the duality. There's none of that. There is no duality when a child plays. So when you mother yourself, it doesn't need to be about, oh, I gotta work hard, build these skills up. Let yourself play. Get into the play mode. Play with meditation if that's your path. Play with your diet. If you're experiencing weight loss, weight gain, play with it. Don't be afraid. Mother yourself. Build the boundaries that you need so that you know in this space, I am safe. In this space, I believe I am worthy to grow. I am worthy to be happy. I am worthy to express myself in complete authenticity to those around me because it blesses them. And they do it back and it blesses me. And that aspect, look at that inner child. Let that inner child play. Mother that inner child. Nurture that inner child. Let that inner child grow into the joyous, blossoming state that it desires to be in. Full expression. So when I talk about how we mother our life, the skill that I use is playing. When I'm getting too serious, when I'm getting tired, when I'm getting worn out, and I'm sliding into that suffering state, I'm like, "Oh, I'm suffering, I'm uncomfortable." I use my mother self to talk to my child self and say, take a break and play. It can be productive or not productive. You can play in ways that are very productive. But there's times when you take a break and you play. So I'd like to open it up. We have 5 more minutes before we need to break into announcements and stuff like that. But does anyone here have a way that they parent themselves, or they mother themselves or someone else that could teach or share with the community here?
I'm not going to answer that question, but what you're being very explicit about the role of mothering reminded me was listening to an interview with Hazel Henderson, who talked about the love economy, and in traditional economics, the love economy, which is like the underpinnings of our whole society, is not even considered.
Yeah.
And I think along with the environment and love economy, we ignore those things as how important they are to our world.
Yeah.
We ignore it at our peril. And so thanks for bringing up, being explicit about that part of the love economy.
The more we can define it, the more we can see it, the more we can experience it. But I've never heard of the love economy, and I really like that. I've used the word economy quite a bit, like economy of force. You need to be forceful with the right amount, otherwise too hard, too soft doesn't work. But love economy, that's brilliant, because it shows you can't oversaturate. There's a happy goal to reach economically where it's shared and goes around and it doesn't stop. There's no blockages. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else have comments on Mother's Day? Or does anyone want to bring up a story about their mother that touches them? Karen?
You talked about the little books.
Yeah.
And I lived in Danforth, getting to the library wasn't so easy. And I used to get books by mail from the Maine State Library. And they would come in big packages of maybe 15 books, and you'd open it up. And by the end of the day, we'd have them all read, because they were all just little kids' books, And I can't remember what my son said, but he complained, And I said, oh, I think I need to find a big book. So I went searching in the house for something that would be appropriate for him, and I found the book Heidi. And I started to read it to him, and it worked very, very, very nicely. When I would get to a paragraph that seemed like it was very descriptive, like a whole big paragraph, 4 or 5 sentences of a forest or a field, I'd skip it.
Yeah.
And just move on to wherever was more active and interactive. Anyway, yeah. I just remember that.
I remember, I was probably 3. I was so small. I remember laying in bed with my mom, and we had a book open, and it was the 3 Little Pigs. It was very silly and goofy. And I remember learning how to read while my mom was reading to me. And I was memorizing the sounds that go with the symbols. And I was trying to read along, and she was thinking I was just baby talking when I was comprehending. So, yeah, mom's great. Thank you for sharing, Karen.
I just have one thing. I think our mother-child relationship, our mother's relationship is very nurturing to their children, but reciprocal. Our children are very nurturing to us, and I think that's a really important part of the mother-father-child relationship.
If you're willing to learn from your children, that opens that gate.
And play with them and just you know, enjoy life.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Having $1 million cannot give you a good quality relationship with your child. It's not about money, it's not about material, it's not about resources, it is completely connection-based. So, yeah, it's spiritual. A mother-child relationship is a spiritual relationship. I'm going to go ahead and extinguish the chalice. This concludes my Mother's Day message. Thank you very much.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in today. If you'd like to show your support, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel if you're not already subscribed, and help us out by sharing this message by clicking the share button. If you'd like to make a monetary donation to you, Church Holton, there is a link to our online donations in the video description down below. And again, thank you so much and have a blessed day.